Hello everybody, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we are headed to Billings, Montana with the load. We just left Twin Falls, Idaho here. This is East 84. And I know I have been a little bit absent here when it comes to videos and stuff like that. And there's no really good reason for it other than, I have been getting sick, just on and off. I have been getting sick at least twice in like 2 months, something like that. I believe I got sick sort of like in of October, beginning of November, or something like that. Don't remember exactly when, but it's just, I've been trying to recover from that. I still having a little bit of issues. I don't really know what's going on. Why I'm getting so sick. Of course, I do work at a school. I do custodian work at a school, so that's kind of expected. But it just there's a lot going on. Right now when it comes to people getting sick, and I was just right there in line with pretty much everybody else. There's been like kind of a like a lung infection or something like that, a respiratory issue. It's not COVID. It's something completely different from what I've been told, but I didn't know exactly what it is. I don't think anybody really knows, but just I think it was like 2 weeks ago, something like that. I was just feeling really, really ill, and I still have quite a bit of cough from that. It has been very greatly reduced. I have been prescribed some antibiotics to hopefully help what has been going on with me being sick and all that stuff. It has worked for the most part. At this point, I just still have like a little bit of a scratchy throat. That's just about it. But thankfully I am feeling a lot better, and hopefully I can get back into doing videos for you guys and stuff like that. I hope you guys don't mind how I started this video here with just, immediately being out on the road and stuff like that. Like kind of what we used to do in real life, and from now on, when it kind of comes to the American Truck Simulator series, I kind of want to, do as I kind of would in real life, or how we used to do in real life. I know it's just a video game, but, kind of, bring, what we used to do back. Of course, we can't do everything. There's just, a lot of, fortunately, aspects in the game that, is either probably not going to be invented or, just very limited. This makes no sense at all. But anyways, so that's kind of my plan when it comes to this. I do hope one of these days that, American Truck Simulator becomes, they put more realistic stuff in it, like, for example, having to go out and, drop a trailer or something like that, go down and, actually, spin the dollies and stuff like that. Also, to be able to actually, go into truck stops, be able to walk around. I think that would be really, really cool. Where you can sort of get out of the truck. They have started this with the viewpoints. You can sort of get out of your truck, but it's not, very developed when it comes to that. It's very, very minimal, and there's only certain spots you can do it. You just have to find those viewpoints. But I think that'd be really cool to have that implemented in game. Also, I know this is probably not going to be implemented because not everybody wants to deal with this. This would probably just be the actual real truck drivers out there that when we're at a shipper, you would have the ability to actually talk to a person and stuff like that. Of course, even in real life, that's sort of going away just a little bit. It's becoming more using like technology and stuff like that more than it probably has ever in the past. Especially when COVID came, they started really reducing that. In fact, a lot of places I went during COVID, you would either, for example, I believe some FedEx locations did this. It was either probably both FedEx and I believe XBO Logistics. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Off the top of my head, I just don't remember that company's name. We used to do it for CRC all the time. But anyways, so how some companies would have you do this is they would, you would go in, there'd be a phone number or something that you had to talk to somebody on. You had to give them your pickup number and stuff like that. And then they would show you where the trailer is and, where you needed to go. There was I remember one shipper, this was not too common, but there was one where there was they had a mailbox that you'd either drop the paperwork in or they would bring you the paperwork and drop it in the mailbox and you go get it in that mailbox. Not so much anymore. Now that COVID stuff has died down a little bit, they started going back to probably what they used to do, and they would come hand you the paperwork, or you'd go in and sign the paperwork and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool to actually have to talk to somebody or have a voice that says, yeah, go here, in that dock or whatever. I think that'd be really cool. It also show kind of, the more difficult stuff, like when it comes to shipping specifically, like having loads canceled. They do have that in the game. If you take too long to... Thank you, buddy, for letting me over. I was saying, if you took too long in this game, they would cancel the load, or the load would be given to somebody else in the game. Jesus Christ! I just hit the brakes. Jesus Christ! Jeez, that was ridiculous. But anyways, so as I was saying, I think that, would be cool to show, not every day like this happens, but, when you have, issues that, that easily able to fix, maybe, somebody not being there, the shipper being closed, which that unfortunately has happened, especially when I worked for CRC. They were really, really terrible with that. But anyways, so, having issues with the pickup number or to, just, have something go, a bit wrong with that, or make things more difficult than it is. Sometimes, especially if you're working with dispatchers, there's a lot of miscommunication that can happen. I've had it happen, for example, with USA Truck. We had an issue with pickup numbers. Took me about 3 or 4 pickup numbers to, actually, be able to, if I needed a door or something like that, get in there and, I think picking up a load there, so. Actually, I was not picking up a load. I was delivering. But anyways, so yeah, I was I think it'd be cool if they implemented that. Another thing that I think would be pretty cool to implement is the speed went down to 45, so also something that, that I was talking about would be cool is to have, more of a better DOT system, to have more, detailed, going to the scales and stuff like that, to, either, go and on the side, having to do a inspection or something like that, to, maybe, I got rid of it because I just thought it was annoying. But to have like a fine system where if something's not right, you like would get fined for it, unlike you would in real life, or to have certain penalties like could be shut down or something like that. They just, what they have now, it's very, very basic. I think it would be really cool to have more of that, implemented and stuff like that. Another thing that, so that I would more like to see change when it comes to this game, and I have videoed about this before in the past, is the GPS system. It is really, really basic. It is very, very, unrealistic. Like a real GPS would have, for example, say if there was a turn coming up or whatever. This is just a coincidence. I didn't know there was a turn coming up, but let's say if there was, you would have a little tiny, prompt on top that says, in this amount of feet or miles or whatever, turn left or whatever. And fortunately, it doesn't show that. When it comes to the closeness and stuff like that, that's kind of realistic. GPSs, I know my red McNally, when we had turns and, stuff like that, it would be kind of close like this, maybe a little bit farther zoomed out, but, it would also, give you, like, show you, like, the lanes. Oh god, this guy just rear-ended this bus. What the hell? Oh! What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Holy crap! Don't back into me, you dumbass! Jesus Christ! What the hell? That's a freaking idiot. Holy crap. Yeah, that doesn't happen in real life. Nobody just backs up. Like, there's no way you could not see me. I'm a big truck. There's just no way. You know, and somebody ruining somebody. Yeah, that does happen. But, you know, you wouldn't just back up like he was like trying to run from, you know, whoever you just hit. Of course, that probably could happen too, but, you know, like, it was just, that was ridiculous. This actually reminds me, I believe this was kind of, like, in Chicago. It wasn't downtown. It was kind of the outskirts of Chicago. I was living alone there, and I was about to, like, it turned down an interstate. I believe this was like a 2-lane road there, and I was, of course, lane that I needed to be on the right side there, and all of a sudden, I think I had my window down. I just heard a crunch. The lady hit a guy right beside me. Guy was parked waiting for the right, and looks like, you know, she just, you know, it looked like she just like let go of the brake or something like that and just hit the guy. That what we just saw, I don't know what the hell that was. That was just weird. Like, it looked like she either didn't stop. Well, I don't know, was it he or she? That's hard in this game. But they looked like they either just hit the gas on accident, or, you know, just didn't stop at all. It looked like they just didn't stop. Or, you know, was just too close to realize the bus was actually stopping. But I don't know. This is actually pretty beautiful. I like this little, it's like it's kind of like an outpost there or something like that. I don't quite know what that is, but also, something that, you know, I've been meaning to talk about with you guys, and that is the subject of Oceanside Roleplay. Now, I'm still technically a part of the community, but I have decided to take a very, very long break from it. There's a lot that, you know, going on that I don't really agree with. You know, specifically when it comes to this life RP stuff, you know, I like realistic roleplay, don't get me wrong, but, you know, when, you know, I kind of like it when it's just, you know, this is like the first time I've ever seen something like this, and it's absolutely retarded. You know, the roleplay, it's not necessary to really have it outside a game. You know, maybe if it's something that happened in-game that, you know, you wanted to maybe complete the scenario or, you know, so like that, yeah, I understand that. But to have, like, other things that, you know, are just unnecessary, like, why? And what I mean by this is, for one, when it came to, you know, them implementing all these rules, they kind of screwed over everybody that was current members there. You know, it was the biggest game of catch-up. It was the biggest game of confusion. Alright, guys, my apologies. I had a little bit of a cough there. You know, had to edit that out. But anyways, so what I was talking about, so, it is, you know, let's say they kind of screwed over everybody that, you know, like I said, were current members over there. You know, it was, like I said, the biggest game of catch up ever. This is weird as hell. That guy is a freaking idiot. That needs to be a light really, really bad. Anyways, so what I was saying was, you know, they were implemented, like, first rule that they did was they started to make everybody that was a part of the community had to be a civ. Everybody in the community was a civ. Which I have found problems with this in the past. I've seen communities that have done this, and it's not all that great. But you know, it just, you know, we had to catch up on that. You know, we had to go take, you know, a test, which I didn't personally want to do. Oh look, got street sweepers here. That is pretty cool. Anyways, like I said, you know, when it came to, you know, all the members that were, you know, law enforcement, you know, they were fine. You could stay in law enforcement, but, you know, you had to go do all this extra work that no one probably really wanted to do. And they were kind of focusing on new members. They really started to not care about, you know, current members at that time. You know, it, you know, was only focused on new people coming in, which on some things, yeah, I do agree, you know, you do need to focus on, but, you know, not so much so that it screws, you know, all the rest of the, you know, current members there. But yeah, so, you know, the rule was that, you know, everybody had to be civ. You know, you had to go take like a little quiz or something like that, which I didn't understand it either because, you know, the quiz, you know, the SOP and, you know, all the things that they had was very, very out of date. They didn't fix anything, but the quiz was updated. Nothing else was. That was really, really difficult and confusing to do anything with that. Like, they were really, really not prepared for that at all. You know, all of it was, you know, pretty much what they had for, you know, resources, SOP, and all that was before they implemented that stupid rule. You know, but, you know, the rule was, you know, new members had to be in the community for 30 days as a civilian before they could be, you know, law enforcement or anything like that. Exception of, I think it was communications, you know, but I have no idea what goes on that side of things, honestly, but, you know, I think they moved it up to 15 days now, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. I really don't know. I have not been really focusing on stuff like, you know, that has been going on with that. It just, you know, that was the biggest thing that, you know, I really did not agree with, you know. And the next thing that, you know, it really frustrated me. They, you know, started to make everything had to be done in character. This is what I was talking about, you know, how, you know, role play should stay in the damn game. You know, it shouldn't, you know, have to do with, you know, outside of that, really. Unless it's, you know, like I said, you know, you want to continue role playing or something like that out of game. That is understandable, but, you know, they started making things, everything in game, like in character. So, if you wanted to play for law enforcement, you had to have a character specifically for that. If you, you know, wanted to fill out a form, for example, if you wanted to like change, a penal code in there, or update it or put a recommendation of what you think should be in there, um, you had to do that in character as well. You had to even have an address, which they don't even have those, set up yet. It really just got stupid. They're not ready for this. They're moving way too far ahead of themselves. Before anything else is done. They're implementing things that should not be implemented before other things are taken care of. And so I just ultimately decided to just take a break from it. To maybe go find other communities out there. I have not discovered anything yet. But I'll keep my eye peeled for that. I'll let you guys know, kind of what happens with that. But, that's what is going to be happening with Oceanside Roleplay for a while. It also kind of, wasn't really big of a deal, but it did get kind of boring. There is, when it came to like in-game stuff, it, was just the same thing. It's been the same thing for about a year. Nothing much has really changed. For example, the cars that we had, they slowly started changing the cars when I left. But, the, just, it was just the same. Nothing new, no new scripts or anything like that. It just kind of got plain and boring. Every now and then, it would be really nice to just have something new. Something that, would bring you back to the server. And I think, this would help them with, their activity. We were having issues with activity. Nobody would get in the server. In fact, I, stayed a whole month where nobody would get in the server. And I think the biggest problem with that is, they just did not implement anything. There was nothing new to keep, members from coming back or wanting to hop in there and patrol, And it just got really boring and, playing at some point. And I think that's the biggest issue that they had. But, I don't know. It's just my opinion on things. Other than that, it is a really good community. The administration over there, they're really, really nice people, down-to-earth people, and I would recommend it other than, if this would be kind of the thing for you, Life RP and stuff like that, I would highly recommend it, Of course, like I said, nothing's perfect over there yet. I would personally wait for, I would say, at least a couple months before, figuring things out. I'll keep you guys up to date. I'm still, in the community. I can still get updates and stuff like that when it comes to, announcements and changes and stuff like that. So I will let you guys know what changes happen and stuff like that. But, my opinion, I would wait for a while. But this is kind of stuff that you can kind of deal with. Other than that, it's a good community, and nothing negative to say about anyone or something like that. It's just my opinions and just my dislikes at this point. That's the only thing that it is. But as I said, that's kind of what's been going on here. Well, traffic is really busy right now. hell is going on here? Like we got an accident or something. My guessing is this SUV cut off that truck over there. Yep, that's kind of my guess because of what he just did. Usually they stop, but I don't know what that was. What the hell? That is the weirdest speed limit sign I've ever seen. 65 for cars, 65 for trucks. What? Why don't you just make it the same speed limit? That doesn't make any sense. There's no way that's real. There's just no way. That makes no sense at all. This scale is kind of scary. This gotta run down. We are good to go. I wish these worked up here, because those would kind of tell you to either pull aside or to exit on the interstate. And even some, they have speakers on the side, so I've always gotten the habit of, I roll it down the window when I go through scales, because they'll speak to you. I've actually had experience with this, so that doesn't make any sense. But anyways, so I was going through a scale. This is kind of, it was a tiny little scale. So you had to weigh axle each by each, pretty much. And, what you needed to do, you needed to weigh your steer axles first. Once they got that weighed, you weighed your drive axles next. And then once they got that weighed, you'll weigh your trailer axles. And I just so happened to pull up it just a little bit further, and the guy on the speaker told me to, he told me that I was a little bit too forward. I needed to back up, so I did. This guy was kind of a dickhead. I did not like the way he was talking about me, but, I guess that's how things go sometimes with that. Nothing really much you can do, but a little bit too fast here. Interestingly, when it comes to, this guy just reminds me of an experience. I don't know why I'm having such bad frame rate. This is very odd. But anyways, so this kind of, I don't know why this reminded me of this, but kind of remind me of a, so we actually are here at our drop-off. But so I don't know if I've ever talked to you guys about this or not, but when I worked for USA Truck, my truck was governed at 70 miles per hour, and there was like, every company has this. You know, I don't think you'll ever find a company that doesn't, but there was like speed limit rule that you couldn't go faster than, I believe, well, you weren't supposed to speed regardless. You could do 5 over, and then, you know, the dash cam that they use, they wouldn't go off. I think it was like, it might have been like, have a buffer like 10 miles per hour or something like that. That's probably like the fastest you can go. This is pretty cool. This looks more realistic than anything that I've seen in this game. Oh, I think I have it where it automatically picks or where I park at, so it's just by random. Alright, let's go ahead and deliver here. Don't really worry about this. I'm level 108, so I have like $4 billion or something like that, so. Anyways, so we didn't deliver. We're actually going to go ahead and head over to the truck stop over here. Oh. Parking race gates. I don't do that in real life. I don't know why I forget about that. It's just a video game. I don't know. But as I was saying, so I was talking about USA Truck and, you know, the policy on speed limits. And, you know, this is where I was kind of surprised about because, you know, I didn't get trouble. And I was going down a mountain, I believe this was Pennsylvania. You know, very common, you know, to end up, you know, flying down those mountains. I was pretty good at, you know, handling myself with that, but, you know, it did happen. And, you know, it just, I don't know why, but I accidentally did like 80 miles per hour going down the interstate, and they had a rule that, you know, 80 miles per hour was like a no-go. It's kind of one of those things, you know, where, you know, if you were caught doing this, you know, you could be in big trouble. You know, you're talking about termination. And so, you know, I'm very surprised I didn't hear a peep about it. You know, I was clearly speeding, you know, which I never do. And, well, I wasn't really speeding. I believe it was like 70s, so, you know, it's 10 over. You know, it's not all that great, but, you know, it does happen. So now you just lose your eyes on that, you know, for just 1 second. And you will literally fly down those hills. I'm not happy with that. I try to make sure that I park very nicely, at least try to anyways. You know, one of those guys that take up, 2 or 3 parking spots. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, so, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. This was a pretty interesting journey, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.